morning from Iceland. It's Sunday the 18th of June and we have started day 4 and left Reykjavik, and we're on our way to the Western Fjords. And on the way we decided to stop by at this beautiful national park called Tingvaller, which literally translates to Fields of the Parliament. And Jane in a minute will explain what this is about. There she is. So this is the national park, and the flag you see up there is where the site of the old parliament was. It used to be the first democratic structure in terms of a concept that's been recorded in the world. And over there, the rocks you see, that's where the two tectonic plates, the Eurasian and the North American plates, collide and are tearing themselves apart from each other. But I'll show that to you in a minute. And then following this, we got to share a secret with you, which lies over there. And you can see that in the distance, but later on that one. Here's to Jane to tell us what she has found out about Tingvaller.
What I found out is that it was the Scandinavians who came, and they were generally outlaws, and so when they settled here they were all a bit kind of radical, so they decided to create an assembly every year where decisions were made, and there were no hierarchies, no kings or they established that they would be a peace-loving race, and their official faith was the and so they've got this little church over there.
Yes.
And once a year everyone came together and did all the governance stuff, but also they had feasts and markets and found husbands and wives.
Thank you, Jane. So here we are at Tingvaller, and let me swing around and let me show you something rather special to us both, and it is the church at Tingvaller. If I may zoom in a bit, we even got a picture of this in our living room back home in Oxfordshire, and Jane's going to tell us what's so significant about this. Jane?
Well, almost exactly a year ago, on the 20th of June 2016, today's the 18th of June 2017, we got married here. So it's just about our first anniversary, so we've come back to see the place where we did the deed.
Yeah, this is where we got married after living together for 10 years. We chose this because you cannot have anything more remote. And we had a church minister who conducted the ceremony. Her niece was the official photographer.
The man who opened the church was a witness.
Yeah, the park ranger and one of the wardens were the witness, and we had a few Dutch tourists who came and sat there.
It was really special.
It was very special, and then we followed up with a bit of reception back home with some close friends and family, and yeah, we would forever remember this place. Well, here we're standing in the ridge between the two of the world's tectonic plates. To the right of me is the Eurasian plate, and to the left is the North American plate. So as you can see, the Earth used to be one single piece, so there was only one continent, if you like it that way, and over millions of years, you know, it has become what we see Earth as 5 continents now. So you can see people walking through the ridge, and it's quite extraordinary. So in a period of probably hundreds of thousands of years, we don't know yet, but actually Iceland would be torn apart as these plates tear themselves apart from each other. On our way to our first nice destination, and we are in the Iceland we love. There is not a soul in sight, and all is left for just us to enjoy. This is truly heaven on earth. There's Jane. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, and we've hired a big beast, a 4x4, that should handle all the difficult terrain that lies ahead. So here we go, bring on the adventure, I say, and hello Iceland. So this is our second stop on our way up there, and we're actually standing on top of a glacier, would you believe that? We're standing above the glacial line, and here it is. We're what we call the Cold Valley in the Highlands of Iceland. There's Jane.
It's freezing, I'll tell you that.
Yes, it is freezing. Absolutely freezing. It must be about probably around minus 5 or so here at the moment.
It's not cold Iceland for nothing.
It's not called Iceland for nothing, she says. But here you go. Why this land is shaped by what we call fire and ice. The fire from the volcanoes. In fact, we are standing all volcanic rocks and glaciers and ice. An absolutely unearthly sight. So, Iceland for you. This is truly heaven on earth. Get back in the car before I freeze to my death again. Good morning, it's day 5 of our Icelandic journey, and we've stopped for a short break in the peninsula, which is called the Western Fjords, not western tip of Iceland. We're looking out to the Sea of Greenland, and across those water lies Greenland. And let me gently move the iPad so you can take a look at to what we're seeing at the moment, and that is the Black Church. There's Jane. There's a little graveyard there and some more mountain ranges, and beyond that is this extraordinary peak, you know, and I think we're going to get closer to it, which has got some glacial landscape, so we'll go towards that later. I also wanted to share with you as to what we'll be doing today in terms of a route, and then I've asked Jane to just take us through as to, since we left Reykjavik yesterday in the morning, the route we took, etc., where we spent the night and what we'll be doing for the rest of the day. Go on, Jane.
So here's Reykjavik, and yesterday...
Hold on, bye, I've lost your finger there. Go on. Yeah.
Here's Reykjavik, and we went to the Tingvaller National Park that we're talking about in another clip.
Yeah.
And then we took this...
your shadow is actually... Yeah, go on, that's better.
This precarious route along the Kaldidalur, and...
which is the Cold Valley.
Cold Valley between glaciers and volcanic rock, and we spent the night near Reykholt here, and then we've come along here, and we're this is the route on the Snaefellnes Peninsula, and we are now at a place called Udur.
That's it.
Here.
And for the rest of the day and tonight?
So for the rest of the day we'll be going actually around the head of the peninsula along the northern coast to Stykkishólmur, which is a northern town.
Where we are booked for the night.
Which is sort of the main town on the peninsula.
Excellent.
And I just want to explain something about the way their names work in Iceland. If you have a look at this gravestone here.
Okay.
You can zoom in on it. By the way, this is one of the oldest wooden churches in Iceland.
Oh, is it? This one?
Yeah. And,
oh, there you go.
Very popular for weddings.
They're popular for weddings.
So, because there's so few people, they only had a first name, like Tim or Jane, and people are named after their father. So John's Dottir is the surname of the girl, the daughter of John, and the men's surname is again after the father, so he's Magnusson, he's the son of Magnu. So the women don't take their husband's name when they get married. Both man and woman retain the name of their father.
That's very, very interesting. Yeah, so everyone's called a son or a Dottir.
Yeah.
Cool. So there you go. So that's another interesting thing about Iceland. So we'll film some more as the day goes along. It's an absolutely stunningly beautiful day, by the way. You can see it for sure, and the sun is out in full glory. This is as good as it gets. Okay, thank you, Jane. And let's look at the Sea of Greenland. Day 5, stop number 2. Trying a bit of an adventure there. That's the Sea of Greenland. And we are attempting to go a lot closer to Snaefellsjokull, which is a 700,000-year-old volcano with a glacier covering its summit in Western Iceland, and it is the one we had taken from slightly further away in my earlier clip. Okay, and so it's quite interesting because the novel Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne in 1864, in which the protagonists find their entrance to a passage leading to the center of the Earth on Snaefellsjokull. So I spoke to a couple of guys in the car park. One couple are not attempting it, but we will. And we got a 4x4. Another guy said he is going to go for it, so I am going to follow him. So if you don't hear from me, well, let's not think about it. I'm sure it'll be okay. So maybe I'll be able to show you a bit more from a lot closer to it. Okay, and we have safely made it to the highest point beyond which it's not drivable. So thanks to the 4x4, you know, it is incredible. We are actually standing on it. Let me show you. Here I am, feeling the snow. It's quite extraordinary feeling. How do you feel, Jane?
I feel very small.
True, yeah, well said. So here we are, standing on a glacier, looking out to the sea. Doesn't get better than this, does it? I'll try and pick up some ice here for you if you can see this. What a view. This is what a sample of what driving in Iceland is all about. You see the flowers growing around us on the roadside. They're all lupins, am I right, Jane?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's about the only flower that grows, and yes, the origins are from North America. So we were driving down to our night's evening's destination, and we turned into this little road because we were drawn by this church. That's a solitary church, and the solitude is exquisitely solitary. So we are heading up there to have a little look. Okay, so this is what driving in Iceland is all about, and we're heading up to the church now just to see if there's anybody there. Isn't this beautiful? So Jane's taking the shot as I drive, and let's see if it is open for us. But it's a great experience, isn't it? It's quite exciting. Our little adventure, which was entirely unplanned. Here we are at the church, Jane.
Wow.
So here we are at the church, and that's where we came from, and from where we're filming. So beyond that is the Sea of Greenland again, and we're standing at the base of the church. There you go. These are things that happen to you in Iceland. And those sides are the mountains we climbed earlier. There's somebody there who's coming to tend the graves, I think. There's an Icelandic flag. There's a lady there who's tending the graves, and yes, it's this is the sort of things that happen to you as you drive around in Iceland. Something to explore, and all this this exquisite solitude about the place. Take a few seconds of this landscape. So as you can see, the palette of color changes. You know, all of a sudden there's reds and browns and quite barren lands, and sometimes there'll be lush green and sometimes snow-clad peaks. So this is definitely quite volcanic and quite beautiful in a different sort of way, isn't it? So this is again part of the experience of the forever changing palette of colours as you drive on the roads of Iceland. We're at Stykkishólmur, a little town on the northern side of the peninsula, and this should give an idea about what a typical Icelandic town looks like. It's a little harbour, and you can see the little fishing trolleys coming in loaded with fish. They're unloading them. Icelandic cod is plentiful, and ahead you can see the few houses. I'd say the population of this would be probably about 1,000 plus, obviously dominated by the hills surrounding it, and going around, that's the sea. There's Jane sitting there. It's a lighthouse there, and that's the western side where the sun will set, but it really wouldn't set because it's almost 24-hour sunshine. So probably after about 2 hours of the sun setting down there, it'll pop up on the eastern skies because we are so close to the poles. So yes, we are spending our night here, and isn't it charming? And this is the Iceland we like, and come back to. It's day 6 on our travels, and we were going through a place called Kaldidalur. We stopped at a hotel for a cup of coffee and meet a young Icelandic musician called Kristin Larusdottir. Did I pronounce it correctly, Kristin?
Very good.
Okay, and Kristin has kindly agreed to play a little bit of Icelandic music for us, so it's over to you.
Yeah, I'm going to play a little song that I composed myself to a text by Stefan from Tingvaller. And actually Stefan was from this area here. And the text is about someone who have been having a hard time. But don't worry, spring will come and everything will be better.
Brilliant.
Glöðum klið, syngur vor í sálu þína, svana kvak og vatnani.
Thank you, Kristin Larusdottir, for this wonderful performance. And now I have just learned that you've also played with the group that first drew me here in Iceland, Sigur Ros. And thank you for signing this your CD to us, and I am ever so grateful, and I feel happy as Larry. What a scoop for my video. Thank you. Well, I had to stop the car and share this with you, because this is truly one of those spots which I just felt compelled to take a few seconds of this. It is so profound. It's almost a bit of a spiritual experience witnessing all this, and that too nobody else around, so it's takes your breath away, really. There's nothing more to say. We're safely here. What's going to be our shelter for the evening and tonight. It definitely is a house with a view. It's a beautiful house. It's an artist's house who divides the time between Reykjavik and here in Western Iceland. And let me just show you around a bit. You can clearly see it doubles up as a workshop and her place to indulge in her creativity. There's a layer down there, lovely antique furnitures, and you can see the view out there. probably a better one from the dining space here. There is Jane.
Reading an Icelandic saga.
Reading an Icelandic saga, brilliant. Okay. And Thora, our hostess for tonight, is preparing a meal for us. There's just us both and a couple we just met from France, and who'll be joining us for a meal. And Thora, so you can see it's quite windy here. See a clear idea of the rugged coastline with winds battering it. You can almost feel it's been doing so for tens of thousands or millions of years. Turn it around, looking ahead, in front is the sea. So it's day 7 of our journey, and we are driving into the heart of the Western Fjords. It's the Iceland which is least visited by tourists, so it's truly the wilderness, and this is where the white eagles breed. So at this point I would finish this particular diary, which would be the first part of our tour. So I hope you join us again in part 2 of our diary, which I will take from now onwards till we finish our journey.